Hello, I'm here at the Bargain Jess Auction House. This is my interview with the auctioneer himself, and I've got a load of questions to ask. Okay, who are you?
Yes, my name is Scott Kelley. Work for Bargain Jess and also work for other auction companies around the state. And so that's me.
Okay, first question. How or why did you get started being an auctioneer?
I've always loved auctions ever since I was a kid. My dad used to drag me to auctions and things of that nature. For many years we traveled around the country. We used to liquidate grocery stores and restaurants for a living. And I have a good friend out of Minnesota, Graph Auction Company, who kind of got me started liking auctions and helping out with auctions and things of that nature. So that's kind of how I got started. But then I come here to Bargain Jess, and the owner asked me if I'd be willing to get my auctioneer license and auctioneer for him. So yeah, that's kind of my background and how I got started in the auction business.
Cool beans. Well, you already answered how long you've been doing it. Schooling and/or license. Yeah, you've already mentioned schooling.
Sure. I actually went to a Reppert School of Auction, and Christie's Auctioneer Company used to own them. And the Cruz family actually purchased Reppert Auction Company back from Christie's Auction. And I ended up going to Fort Wayne, Indiana to do my classes there. It was a 10-day course. As you're there at school, they teach you all about auction law. They teach you about real estate, and then we have people from all different backgrounds of auctioneers' lifestyles. I mean, you have people who do cattle auctions, people who do car auctions, and they kind of incorporate everything together and show you how those auctions work. And after that, you go and take a state board test downtown. It's just like a license for, a barber or a nurse or whatever. You have to take that. I believe it's about 300 questions, if I remember correctly. And you have to pass that test, and after that you get your auctioneer license, and you just have to make sure you abide by all the rules and laws that go with being an auctioneer.
Getting kind of loud. How do you know where to start a bid at?
It helps being in the business and around the auctions for quite a while. Sometimes you can cut yourself short on auctions if you start real low. So it helps to know the merchandise and to study that before you actually do your auction, and that way you know kind of where to start. That helps a lot. And if you get into the auction business, sometimes it goes hand in hand with doing appraisals, so that also helps as well, knowing what you're selling.
Okay, that's a good answer. Oh yeah, when you're looking out amongst the crowd, say it'd be busier than this, what I'm used to. But how do you keep track?
Sometimes it can be hard, so that's
different kinds.
Yeah, it depends on the crowd. If you have a large crowd, of course, it's going to be a little bit harder. So in that aspect, it helps to have good ringmen to always help. Usually, if you have 3 or 4 ringmen, we kind of divide the crowd up and say, hey, you've got this section, you would have this section. And so it really helps. I mean, if you have good ringmen, you can actually turn your back to the crowd and do an auction without actually seeing the crowd. But yeah, sometimes it's harder when you get people to do the winks and the nods and things of that nature. So it's always good to, if you raise your hands or give it a good yeah, that helps the auctioneer as well. So.
Okay. What changes have you noticed over the years as far as merchandise ups and downs?
Sure. I think with the younger generation now, they don't have a tendency to collect things as much as the older generation. I know when I was growing up, I always had a collection of this or a collection of that. And it seems like the younger generation has kind of steered away from that. So that's kind of put a damper on things. And then, of course, with the coronavirus, that's put a damper on auctions as well. And so a lot of people have gone online and doing their auctions that way. I like doing the live auctions because it's the the personality there of being there live and doing that. I think it's a lot better as opposed to doing it online. Unfortunately, a lot of auction companies have done that though.
Do you have any advice for the first time person going to an auction?
Sure. I think the best thing to do is just try to educate yourself the best you can, and talk to an auctioneer. I mean, that helps a lot, because sometimes people just go into an auction blind and not really know how to do it. Some people will show up and they don't even know that they need a bidder's number. So always ask questions. I mean, don't hesitate. I think a lot of people would rather you knew about the auctions and how they worked as opposed to going into it blindly, because a lot of times it gets really busy in the auction and it's really hard to stop and kind of educate people while the auction's going on. So.
Okay, we only got a couple more.
Sure.
Somebody wants to be an auctioneer. What would you tell them?
I would tell them, same as coming to an auction, educate yourself. Go to auctions yourself, and not only just go to like your local auctions, you know, where we're selling glassware, things of that nature. Get online and see how they auction off cattle, see how they auction off cars. I mean, I think it's the best thing to do is just educate yourself about it and talk to people that's in the business.
Is there anything you want to add before we end this?
Sure. It's a great business. If you want to get into it, it's something you'll love. I guarantee it. It's not the same thing every day, and I think sometimes it's cool just to see the things that people have that they've kept for years, and they decide they want to get rid of. I mean, that's one of the most interesting things for me. And dealing with people. I really love dealing with people.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of that, if you just want to come to an auction, I mean, you're going to meet a lot of people, and you always got that competitive edge. So I mean, that's always fun as well. But yeah, on both sides of it, I think you're really going to enjoy it, no matter how you tackle it. So.
One last question.
Sure.
In all the years that you've been an auctioneer, is there any one item that has surprised you as far as value for how much it's sold for?
It really has. Of course, I've been to some auctions with high-end cars of that nature, and I've had friends that have sold. I had a friend that sold John Lennon's Mercedes one time. I had a friend that has sold an amusement park. I have another friend that sold a hotel. And the last time I saw him on video taking a bid, it was $1 million. But I think one of the coolest things for me is we had these scarves that were the ugliest thing in the world, and the person purchased them and paid like $5 for these scarves, and because they liked the box that it was in. And come to find out, it was a very nice Hermes scarf that was actually made in France. And the person got $500 for the scarf. So I mean, that really, it just amazed me. So I mean, it really helps to research things, and you can make money if you come to a small auction like ours, or if you go to a large auction where you're buying, Lamborghinis. So I mean, I mean, any aspect of an auction, if you know what you're doing, know what you're buying, you can have fun and make money as well. So.
Okay. Hey, it's been interesting, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Nice talking to you.
You guys check out the description in the doobly-doo down below, and I have all the links, and you guys can go check the place out. Hey, thanks for coming, and ta-ta for now.